Hey, what's up, guys? John here. The White House just put something out that's very important, the last 24 hours, about how they're going to reduce housing costs all throughout America. This is pretty shocking because what we're going to start to see here is asset prices on single-family homes, multifamily properties, everything get completely repriced over the next couple of years. This is monumental. If you're a real estate investor, a homeowner, you're a renter, you want to become an investor, pay close attention to what's going on because it's going to change the entire future of the real estate market in America. Please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube's going to share this content to educate more people about what's really going on. Every time you hit the like button, YouTube will share it with one other person. And if you want to fix your credit to position yourself for the greatest wealth transfer of all time, which we're in now, it started 2-3 years ago, and it's going to get a lot worse. We're going to start seeing so much money transfer from the 99% to the 1%, and those that are prepared over the next couple of years. So if you want to fix your credit, you want to take advantage of some of these distressed opportunities, we'd love to help you. Give you a free strategy session at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. Go there, schedule a free call. Take a look at this. So July 27th, came out yesterday, Biden-Harris administration announces actions to lower housing costs and boost supply. Now, rents are generally determined on supply and demand. How many available units are available for rent in the market, how much demand is there, and then rents are priced accordingly. But when you greatly increase the supply, rents obviously are going to start to soften. Well, look at what's going on here. They want to reduce barriers to build housing, like restrictive and costly land use and zoning rules. So they're going to really relax zoning laws, expand financing for affordable, energy efficient, resilient housing, and promoting commercial to residential conversion opportunities, particularly for affordable and zero emission housing. Now, I don't think people realize how important that is, what that's actually going to do, because the commercial real estate crisis that's in front of us is huge. For context, look at this. There's a $1 trillion wall of worry for commercial real estate. So $1 trillion has to get refinanced by next year, and $2.5 trillion by 2027. So the entire commercial real estate market in America, if you added up all the buildings, all the commercial properties in America, is $20 trillion. $20 trillion, $700 billion to be exact. And so you're talking about 10% of the entire market has to get refinanced over the next 3.5 years. And so you're looking at this, and then you look at where landlords are. So landlords, look at this. Insurance is up 73% over the last 5 years. Utilities, 40% more expensive. Property taxes and other operating costs rose 27 and 29% respectively. So when you look at this, these commercial property owners are very big trouble because they're sitting on an asset that is getting more and more expensive to service and maintain every single day. And on top of that, borrowing costs went from 3% to 7.5%, 8%, and rates are still probably going to keep rising in the short term. So you look at this, all these landlords are completely underwater, and they're not going to be able to, many of them are not going to be able to get funding and financing to refi their assets. So they're going to start handing them back to the banks. But what I think is going to happen is this. Look at this. So the cities they're trying to work with these property owners, but they're also trying to offer massive tax breaks to do these office to residential conversions. So Boston's offering 75% tax break on office to residential conversion. I mean, Philly's they're converting office space. I mean, you look at even a bunch of how cities speeding up office to apartment conversions in the U.S. Now, a lot of people are going to say, John, look, it's not going to get approved. It's too expensive. It's probably cheaper to demolish the entire building. Sure, if you're going to build everything up to today's codes. But if they are going to relax zoning laws like they've said here, right here, I mean, what they could easily do is have communal bathrooms. They could have communal showers. They could do a lot of things if they are working with building and safety and they push forward a lot of new measures because they say that poverty is the 4th leading cause of death, right? And they also say that they want to reduce homelessness, whitehouse.gov, 25% by 2025. So you look at this, you simply connect the dots. And I mean, look at this as well. This came out the Telegraph. I mean, this has 3.9 million views. 3.9 million views. Read that headline, and you start to see what's actually happening here. They're going to say that because of this, we need to, we need to get people off the street. We need to get them housed, right? And so they're going to start to really position a lot of housing in America. A lot of housing. They even go a step further, saying if you haven't kept hydrated, then this can get sticky, and then that stickiness can form these rocks. And they form in what we call, these terminal situations, the heart, brain. I mean, it's all over, right? They say that according to this organization, that it can happen extremely rapidly, same day, right? So this is what's going to happen. they are going to start to say that we need to get everybody inside of housing. And so it's going to be a completely different real estate market. That's what we're stepping into, a completely different real estate market. I mean, you see the writing on the wall. Like even Morgan Stanley's talking about it. Commercial real estate will crash harder than during the great financial crisis. No doubt. No doubt. I keep thinking that what we're going to see is property owners, they're going to start moving into ADUs aggressively because many property owners, they bought their house, a few years ago. Maybe they, 30, 38% loan to value. They were comfortably affording the property then. But the cost of the world got much, much more expensive. And they're simply not in a position to, carry inflation, carry the cost of the world, carry rising insurance and rising property taxes, rising utility bills. So they're going to try to look at ways in which they can add an ADU or add, accessory dwelling unit, granny flat to the backyard. And what are they going to do, right? They're going to try to draw in some extra revenue. And so what we're going to start to see is suburban neighborhoods all throughout America going through a massive change. We're going to start seeing cities go through a massive change. I actually think that a lot of cities are going to start seeing asset values come down simply because look at a market like Manhattan or a market like Los Angeles, downtown LA, right? A lot of these adjacent communities are very expensive to live in, right? But they're expensive because the median income is relatively high. The amenities, the people are there for a variety of different reasons, whether it be work environment, whether it be location, whether it be, just social benefits, bars, restaurants, clubs, whatever they want to do. All that changes if you increase the density by 10, 15, 20% and the incomes drop dramatically, right? You're going to start seeing more crime. You're going to start seeing a lot of change in those communities. And that's what they're pushing for. Seattle doing the same thing. I mean, they're saying even here, expert Phoenix allowing guest houses on properties is a good move, right? Granny flats play a surprising role in easing California's housing woes. If you look at where these changes actually are, I'll show you this. I mean, if you look at what's actually happening, you'll see how this actually is going to play out. I mean, this is going to happen all throughout America in all these different markets where they're going to be increasing housing stock dramatically. Look right here. I mean, they even say here that they are going to increase housing stock. They want to build 1 billion new homes, right? About 60% of buildings that will exist by 2050 haven't been built yet. And they're going to be doing this by implementing and enforcing building energy regulations, mandatory performance standards for existing buildings. And they're going to be, converting offices into residential property. I highly suggest looking at this article because it's shocking when they say reducing barriers to build housing like restrictive and costly land use and zoning rules. I mean, they say local laws, use laws and zoning regulations limit where and how densely housing can be built. This constrains housing supply, perpetuates historical patterns of segregation, prevents workers from accessing jobs, increases energy costs and climate risk. Today, the Biden-Harris administration is announcing new actions to find jurisdictions committed to removing barriers that restrict housing production and preservation, including by, and they go through it all. I mean, like announcing Department of Housing Urban Development, reducing land use restrictions, encouraging the improvement of land and economic development administrative grant programs. They go through this entire situation. It's going to change everything about real estate. Now, many people might say, John, you're being bearish on real estate. I love real estate. I love real estate investing. I think it's a tremendous way to create wealth for yourself, for your family. I mean, I think it's a great value add to the community. When you buy a property, you enhance the value, you fix it up. There's many people that benefit, not just the tenant, not just the city. Everyone benefits. But when you have a situation where people are buying these deals now at a 4% or 5% return with 7 or 8% interest rates, with the cost of maintaining these properties only going to be going up in the short term, and just an uphill battle for these property owners and landlords, I think that there's probably easier ways to make money in the short term. Unless you found an incredible deal. If you found an incredible deal, of course, buy it. Right? But right now, there's such a limited supply of available housing stock that people are willing to overpay. I think that it's going to be, it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out the next year or two. And I bet you anything that you're going to go into a city in 5 years and you're going to start seeing tons and tons and tons and tons of large former office buildings now sitting with 800 tenants, 1,000 tenants, 1,500 tenants inside of a building. That's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be absolutely crazy to witness. We're witnessing something very, very, very big here. I actually think that we're also going to see a lot of people in cities that are of high income, looking to move outside of the city, like far away from the city, maybe an hour, 45 minutes away from the city, nice patch of land. That's what I think is actually going to happen. I think we're going to see more and more and more people that have the financial wherewithal moving into that direction. But I'm curious, what do you think? Where do you see all this going? You start connecting the dots, you start reading these headlines. I mean, this is what I'm thinking is going to happen. It's going to be the big push to get everyone inside of housing. How are they going to do it? How? They're not going to be able to just simply say, yeah, build more housing. No, they're going to have to restructure everything to be able to allow millions and millions and millions of new housing units to be built. Drop your comments below. Let's have a conversation about it. Add me on IG. At this is John Williams. And if you want to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, greatcreditfast.com. That's greatcreditfast.com. And catch you guys in the next video.